Many people out there have issues, problems, illnesses. They're worried about their children, sustenance. All of these things are with all of us. But we shouldn't stop and hold back in giving sadaqah and giving charity, because this will solve the problems. So the thing that's going to solve our problems, if we withhold it and we are not going to give, then what's going to happen? We're going to get even further and further into these difficult and these problems. Another misconception, Shah Sahib, is that people think that Dawateislami's got a lot of money. They're minted, they're loaded. They're opening a center everywhere. You know, Dawateislami, they opened one in Sandwell, they've opened one in Birmingham, they've opened one in Wembley. They must be loaded, they have a lot of money. That's a big misconception. What happens is, and I would like to just clarify this to many viewers that maybe be thinking this, is that what happens in each local area, those select brothers and that community, they struggle to open a center. Why? Because the local people saw the facilities maybe in Birmingham and they said, we want that on our doorstep. So when they wanted that on their doorstep, the madrasa, they couldn't travel further afield. They wanted the madrasa local, they wanted the ijtima local, they wanted the jamia local. Now they have it local. Now we have to help contribute to run it and keep it established. So this misconception of Dawateislami has lots of money, it should be out of our mind. Dawateislami has, yes, lots of buildings, lots of projects, but Dawateislami is always in the need of money. Alim ad-Din, mashallah, we have in front of us scholars that have gone to the jamias, they've studied. The scholar, he's going to research at night what syllabus, what he's going to teach, and then during the day he teaches in the class, he repeats the topic, and then the scholars, it takes time for them to complete their dars-e-nizami, and we are getting this reward. But truly, if we want to benefit from this, then we know how much wealth we have, how much Allah has blessed us with. Give according to that. Give according to that, and you'll see how Islam will strengthen not only in the UK but around the world, inshallah azza wa jal, and many more scholars we will produce. And if we want, and every community has this problem with the youngsters, if we want the youngsters to be rightly guided, if we want them to come closer to the deen, if we want them to serve their parents, if they want them to become good ambassadors, have good character, have good morals, etiquettes, be good in their business, in their companies, then there's no doubt without the guidance of the scholars, they cannot do it. They cannot do it. So we have to see that if we want to produce scholars, we have to have jamia. And I'll mention that jamia has huge cost. Teachers, living is residential, free food, free staying there, free teaching. But then brothers are going to say the next question, why don't you charge then? Why don't you charge? If all of this is free, madrasas free, jamias free, why don't you charge? And one beautiful thing that was mentioned on Madani Channel is that if somebody cannot afford it, and you deprive them of that knowledge and the ability to study, we don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. And today what's going to happen if you give people an option that do you want to send your child to school or do you want him just to get a normal job or do you want to go jamia, they'll most likely be hesitant to go towards jamia. Then if you charge and they can't afford it, then they're going to go further away. If you look throughout the history, whenever this knowledge was being taught, it was made access open to everybody, free of charge. And this is the beauty of Dawateislami. Don't make sure that nobody is left deprived of it. So if they're rich or they're poor, they got access to the same education. Here, what happens in many a time that if you're rich, you got access to better education, better teachers, better institutions, better schools, grammar schools, teachers you can get better, but not in Dawateislami. Doesn't matter if you're rich, if you're poor, you're in the jamia together. You're sitting together behind the bench, you're learning. Doesn't matter what village you come from, what town you come from, you have the same opportunity. Make intentions, donate now. Remember that your intention when you make it, try to give it as soon as possible.
We love Madani Channel. We love Madani Channel. We love Madani Channel.